beautiful people. So I am here in our beautiful meadow with a bunch of different plant friends, and I'm here to talk with you about yarrow, who is right here. Yeah. So I felt inspired to talk about yarrow because I had an experience yesterday where I needed to use yarrow. I stabbed my finger trying to get the pit of an avocado out pretty deep, and it was bleeding pretty profusely. And so I ran right out here and I picked some of these here yarrow leaves and just packed it on to that cut, and it staunched the bleeding in seconds. So that's one of the things that yarrow is really wonderful for. Yarrow is great for the blood. So not only for stopping bleeding, but I think of yarrow as kind of an adaptogen for the blood. So I'm just going to list off a lot of situations where yarrow could be useful. So if you cut yourself and you can't stop bleeding, or your wound needs to be cleaned out before it heals, yarrow either as a poultice, so like chewed up and spit on the wound, or a really strong tea as a wash, or a salve after the cut has like healed over. Another situation where yarrow could be useful in terms of the blood would be with the menstrual cycle. If you're wanting to bring on your moon, yarrow can be supportive. If you're bleeding not enough, yarrow can help to fully shed the blood, the lining of the uterus. If you're bleeding too much, yarrow can help to slow down the bleeding. Other instances of slowing down bleeding would be like in an instance of hemorrhaging. Yarrow tincture can help to stop hemorrhaging. That would be as a tincture, directly under the tongue, so it goes straight into the bloodstream. Let's see, other blood-related things with yarrow. Bleeding gums. So yarrow is really great for our mouth health. So if you have any sort of like gum recession or bleeding gums, yarrow can help to clean and stop that bleeding. So some of the properties that yarrow has: super antibacterial, antimicrobial, which makes them a wonderful ally for healing wounds, because you're going to make sure that everything's going to heal up from the inside out clean, which is obviously very important. If you look at the leaves, which I've kind of been playing with this so it's all messed up, but there's a bunch of tiny, it's not gonna focus. Oh well. There's a lot of tiny little hairs, and this relates to one of the common names of thousand-fingered, and these hairs are really good for like packing into wounds and like getting into all of the spaces. Yarrow's been known as a warrior plant because of its wound healing abilities. I think of it too as like sealing the boundaries of our skin. Like it sealed that boundary of the cut on my finger, stopped it from bleeding, and protects it by cleaning it out. And I think of yarrow too for boundary support in a really gentle way. A lot of times when I think of boundary plants, I'm talking about like energetic, emotional, spiritual boundaries. A lot of times when we think of energetic boundaries, we're thinking of like brambles, like hawthorn or blackberry or roses, things like that. Yarrow is really great for boundaries too. It's very much an energetic boundary supporter, I feel. And you can see that in the way that it works with our body and our skin. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention as far as blood, yarrow can be supportive for hemorrhoid relief as well, because it tightens the blood vessels. So there's another random tidbit. Also, gosh, there's so many things yarrow is good for. Really great for helping to support sweating out a fever. So when there are times when a fever is so high that you do want to bring it down because it can be damaging. But in in normal circumstances, Yarrow can help to bring you to the peak of the fever, sweat it out faster so that you can start coming back down. Yarrow is also very bitter, so it is a digestive, it stimulates digestive juices, so it can be supportive for digestion. But yeah, I really think of Yarrow as cold and flu and wound support, as well as energetic boundaries. Those are my favorite things to use this ally for, and they're really beautiful. They spread all over. This is kind of hard to see maybe, but this is all over here in this meadow. When you're harvesting Yarrow, you want to cut about halfway down the stalk. There's only one little flower head in the meadow right now that hasn't quite opened up yet. Bloop. So these will be beautiful. I know the video quality is kind of terrible, but bear with me. These will be beautiful white blossoms soon. And so yeah, you would want to cut like halfway down. Yarrow does spread by root and seed. So yeah, always making sure that you are respectfully harvesting, leaving, like every other plant. And yeah, not going all the way down to the base, because if you leave, basically harvesting as though you're an animal grazing. So deer and elk and other creatures eat Yarrow. So if you just like take the top parts, like the middle to top parts of the flower head off, that's more natural. It's more like you're just an animal grazing versus someone coming and like mowing it down, which is not natural. Yeah, so that's a little bit about our friend Yarrow. Thank you, Yarrow, for healing my finger, which is kind of bruised and a little sad still, but in far better shape and not bleeding out like it was. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this was informative and interesting, and I hope that you get to meet Yarrow soon and yeah, learn about the many ways that you can utilize them and appreciate them and come into relationship with them. Alrighty.